Hi everybody, I'm Brandon. We're at Mariano News segment. And today we are talking about LGBTQ plus issues. And I'm here with, on my right, Rob.
Hello.
I'm also here with Liliana.
Hi.
And so the first thing we want to talk about is that why are these rights so important? And, what are we really fighting for with these rights?
Well, I think it's more we're fighting for human rights because, sexuality and gender are part of humans' lives. So, humans' rights.
So I guess in all honesty, so like, have you all ever faced or seen, people being harassed or bothered because of their sexuality, gender, and all of those things?
Yeah, I'd say I have personally also experienced it, but also seen lots of my other friends experience it, whether that be microaggressions and like the comments that people say, or if it's just like downright rudeness, asking like, "What's in your pants?"
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you?
Yes, I agree with everything that Rob said. No, definitely. Going back to like your original question, I feel like it's definitely human rights, and the fact that we have to quote unquote fight for them is like something that doesn't really fit in my head. Because why would we, if it's something just based on a preference of who you like or who you don't like, you wouldn't necessarily need to have different rights than anybody else. Um, and yes, definitely, I've experienced, just things that have been said to me from people in my family to people that I work with to people in when I used to go to school, people on the streets. Everybody feels that they have to have an opinion on the way that you present, or the way that you walk hand in hand with, or the way, or who you walk hand in hand with, kind of thing.
So, have you all ever seen like systematic oppression based off of these things? Like, I know my sister-in-law talks about medical benefits and things like that. But have you all ever seen or had to experience anything, education-wise, healthcare-wise, anything like that?
So yeah, I'm actually going through the process of trying to change my legal name. It's a lot harder than it looks if you don't have money like Kanye. Um,
Who?
uh, Kanye, or now goes by Ye.
Oh,
So,
gosh. I know him. Yeah.
yeah, because he just paid somebody to do it. So, but I also hold my residency in Michigan, and in Michigan, I have to prove that I've had medical transition for me to change my birth certificate or my ID, or have proof of like some kind of therapist's note that says I have been in this gender identity for more than 2 years. And it has to be like all documented.
Oh, wow.
And I would switch to a California residency, but I also feel like with this being mostly a blue state, and like vote counts a lot more when I'm voting in Michigan because it's a swing state.
Those are facts. Those are facts. Anything?
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Definitely systemic, oppression on different levels. Um, Anything from, like if you're a person that wants to get married, if your legal rights for your spouse, that's not necessarily always like 100% same equity that if a cisgender and cis man would be married and just advocate for their own rights. Anything from being or wanting to maybe become a mother to just, having access to health through your partner or something like that. Like, that's all part of the same thing. It's interesting for me too, like to experience this as a cis woman, the way that I walk the world as a woman of color as well, because then that's like another layer of things. So, like, I feel like I'm in this intersection of identities, like being a woman, being a woman of color, being a queer, being considered an immigrant, although I was born in the U.S. So like, there's all so many layers to my identity that are constantly being battled by a system that does not support who I am.
And thank you really for being so open and to us. So there's a lot of controversies that people are using in this debate. We talk about transgender athletes in sports. There's people trying to ban conversion therapy. We have the religious freedom laws and all these other things going on. What are some things that you all feel like? But I guess more importantly, are these arguments even just? And what are some things that these people should know before they make these opinions and these judgments?
I think, I don't know, when it comes to religious freedom, I think it's an interesting one when people say, well, it's in my religious belief to not, like, believe who you are as a person, when, they also advocate for, like, religious freedom. And if they have the freedom to worship in their way, then why do they feel they need to kind of insert themselves into the business of others? It's freedom for a reason. We're free to do what we want to do. So just kind of worry about your own religion, I guess, or like your own beliefs, your own family, your own, I don't know, people around you. But when it comes to other people, it's just kind of like, I don't know, why is it your problem? Like, just live in your own world, because that's kind of what freedom to me is. So you just live to be whatever you want to be.
Right on.
Yeah, I feel pretty much the same way. I also like to add to what Rob just said was, the fact that your freedom oppresses somebody else, then it's not really freedom for all. You kind of have to think outside the box in that one. I don't feel like it's a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. I feel like we need to have adjustments to it, and I feel that that's one of the main issues that a lot of people have with new rules. But in reality, it's just like laws and other statements that allow us to exist as humans, primarily more than anything else. So when it comes to like thinking about your freedoms that you have as a human and the way that you walk into the world, think about, if that oppresses somebody else's reality or somebody else's existence just by the moment they walk through their front door and, are exposed to the world outside.
Well, here at Mariano's news station, we want to thank you all. And March 31st is, what is it again? Disability Day. I'm being educated all the time by Rob, and so I really do appreciate Rob and all your patience with me because I'm a jerk. And I thank you all for coming and joining us. And see you all next month for another topic.